Hi, welcome to a brand new video of the Target Individual program, Target Individual Experience. This video is for TIs, okay? Basically, doesn't matter. Anybody can find this video helpful. So I was, I subscribe to a lot of these tech channels and stuff like that. One of the channels I subscribe to is called uh, the PC Security Channel, right? So a video popped up that says how to tell if your Wi-Fi is hacked. Okay, so let me go to the video. All right, so you guys can check. So the channel is called PC Security Channel. Okay, and this video is talking about how you can tell. All right, now it may work for some people, but I think as for TIs, it may not work for us because even though I did install the application, I did scan the network, um, everything that's listed on the on my hidden network, I didn't see anything else. I didn't see any other IP address that does not belong to the devices that I have that's connected to the uh, router, right? So you can go and you can download the what's going on here. Okay. So if you go to this particular video, and you download the where is it at here? Here, wireless network watcher. Okay, you can download that. This is another application called Wireshark. I'm not too I'm sure about this one. I have to read up some more about on it. But what it does is basically it sends out uh, in order. Let's say if you want to find out if somebody's attacking your network. So what this does is that sends out all these different IP addresses, and eventually, if your network is hacked, you will see the IP address of the attacker, right? And it'll tell you, okay? And that way you can go into your router and you can whitelist. I mean, not blacklist, but you can whitelist, okay? Right? Whitelist to me doesn't mean safe. Okay, just like blacklist to me is a negative term, again that they've constantly used with the word black, like black cat being negative, and everything associated with the color black is somehow negative, right? But I just flip it, right, to anything that's associated with white is negative, right? So whitelist, because black people don't blacklist nobody, right? White people do. And if black people blacklist anybody, is because they're influenced and manipulated by white people in order to do so. So that's why I say whitelist. Okay, so just to clear that up. Anyway, uh, so I have to read up on more on this Wireshark because there are some issues that if you install it, um, it may affect your USB port or whatever the USB. You might need a USB drive, a thumbstick or what have you, in order for it. Like I said, I don't know, but in this video he explains exactly what it does, so you guys, and it's you guys can go watch the video, download the application. Like I said, I only download the uh, the wireless network watcher. Okay, which is you see here, wireless network watcher. So just to scan your network again to see if any other devices, outside of your if somebody hack into your network, the IP address will show the devices that's listed. But again, like I said, it was TIs. We don't know. These hackers can mask the IP address. This is why I have to read up on the other application, like I said, which is going to send out packets of IP addresses and to get a good idea of if your Wi-Fi is hacked or not. Okay. Um, yeah, just trying to share something that I just found out. Okay. I know as TIs, our Wi-Fi is hacked all the time, and sometimes we feel like nothing they can do. So if it works for you, if you can identify an IP address that's not connected by you to your, or let's say the people that you live with or have you, that's not connected to your wireless router, then you have to go change your password. But again, we know that doesn't matter, right? Because your microchip, so it doesn't matter. But if we can identify the IP address, okay, then we can go to the authorities and say, hey, this is IP address or what have you. And also, you keep in mind that some people run VPNs, which I have a VPN. Okay, the VPN that I have is called Windscribe. Okay, I'm about to change that IP address. Uh, um, so, and it doesn't it doesn't do anything because it's still hack into your network. It's just a search I see a video search I was looking for. Anthony Burr on the African origin of Christianity. Um, yeah, you know. But like I said, I have a VPN, and the reason why I keep the VPN, even though I don't really need it, because they still hack into my network anyway, is just to um, give me that psychological um, feeling that yes, I have a VPN. Yes, even though they're still hacking into my network or have you. But for some like I said, it doesn't matter. But sometimes you have to do things in order to, um, even though again it's not effective in our cases, right? Actually, in anybody's cases, VPNs. If the government want to hack into your computer, it doesn't matter what you do. It does not matter what you do. Okay. But like I said, the other software that I want to read up more about to download, that it will give you the list of devices that have been hacking into your network. And I noticed, this is what I noticed. I noticed when I first got this video and started looking at it, and I downloaded the software, I didn't hear any sort of police sirens for about a few minutes, right? I was still hearing the car honking though. Okay. Um, and now I really, so far, I think I've heard the police sirens, and they're very faint. Okay. Yeah, maybe a few times, not as regular as it's not as extreme, right? Um, so I don't know, but I'm going to keep this running in the background. I'm actually going to see if I can, I can split my screen to where uh, this constantly running. So just in case it is anybody hack into my network, I can see the IP address. Okay. So again, sometimes I do things like this, even though I know it doesn't matter. But sometimes we need just a little bit of, like I said, even if we know it's not true, sometimes we can not convince ourselves, but to know, just say, okay, you know what, I'm going to keep this on there, even though I know it doesn't make a difference, but I'm going to keep it on there anyway, you know, because maybe also it may help in terms of anybody else that not just the 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 FBI or the CIA or the whatever government agencies hacking into your network or have you, but they have these they're civilian agents, right? And so maybe if one of them decide to hack into your network, you can identify them. Okay, so uh, with that being said, I just like to say this also before I go, right? That there are TIs out there who claim to be expert in IT, right? IT experts, what have you, and they have not even done anything like this for the TI community. Okay, and I look at when a TI says some certain things, I look at if you're an expert in this field, then why don't you help TIs? Why don't you help us? Okay, you understand what I'm saying? And it is very, very, uh, difficult for us as TIs as it is already. And so, if you if you're a TI and you claim to be expert in IT computers, because I'm not an expert in those fields, okay? I'm not an expert in those fields. But if I find information that I think could help a TI, even though it may not help me, I'll share it. And this is what we all have to do. You know, if we are TIs and we work in this, we used to work in a certain field. If we still work in a certain field, and that can help us as TIs, then we need to, you have to get rid of that notion of want to be praised. Okay, that's not why I do this. Okay, you have to think. You have to be selfless when you're a TI. Why? Because you understand what it's like to go through this stuff. You understand the trauma that it has an effect on you. You understand how it affects the people around you, right? Particularly in these technologies, right? And then they lie about it, okay? Because you have and you got to get the proof. Get the proof of the damage that they've done to you, okay? They may make it hard for you, but don't give up. It took me years before I can get a proper MRI, right? A brain scan to show the damage that they've done. Even my spinal cord injury, right? To show the damage that when I finally got it done after about 2 years, okay, from I had to go through issues where they, the insurance company wouldn't authorize it, right? Go through all this. Listen, I've traveled far, okay, just to get. Yeah, I went through many facilities for to get this my brain scan, and I still have to go to get another one done. But I cannot go back to my neurologist that I went to, not after what they did. All right, so I still have to look for another one, and again, you have to get a specific sort of scan, right, to show the damage. Okay, um, one of the TIs was telling me about it, and I forgot. But as soon as if I find out what it is, I will do a video on that. And if you're a TI, please go get it done, right? Get an MRI, right? Get the medical evidence that you need, okay? Because if we're all claiming the same thing and our medical records show similar damages, okay, then as much as they may lie and say these technologies don't exist, that is something environmental, that's BS. Okay, that's BS. Because again, all they have to do is look at the damages done, not just to biology, but neurologically, psychologically. Bones become very, uh, it becomes brittle. I mean, not brittle to the point where everything breaks. Like I said, particularly my cartilages, right? I just rest my shoulder, my hands down, and my shoulders are cracking. Right. Sometimes when I eat, right, there's a loud uh, crack of my jaw. Yeah. And so I don't know if I can get lockjaw because of what it is that they're doing. Okay. I turn a certain way, my back start crack. Sometimes it's like I hear it twice, like two cracks. So I have to get up to date MRI and X-ray done. Okay, and of course they're going to try to prevent me, but I've been through it. I've been through it already, and I know I'm going to go through it again. But you got to be persistent. You got to be persistent. Okay, don't let them deter you. They're trying everything in their power to hide what it is that they're doing, because again, they don't want to be held accountable. Okay, they don't want accountability for what they've done. Right. This is why they talk about it wasn't directed energy that damaged the diplomats. It certainly was. Like I said, there's plenty of evidence to show it. Right? There's plenty. They've done research on these things. They can't hide. They can't hide it. Though as much as they try to get rid of a lot of the information on the internet, there's still information out there. Okay? You just have to know what kind of search criteria to look for. All right? So if you look up the biological uh, effect of microwave and radio wave frequency, look up uh, microwave and radio wave frequency biological effect on the human body. Okay, look up neurological uh, damage due to the brain because of microwave and radio wave frequency. Right? You can just various search words, but also always include the biological effect of microwave and radio wave frequency, whether it be on your brain, and your body, your biology, your neurology, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, and get the medical records. Get the medical records, right? It's going to be hard. Like I said, I've been through. I've traveled. They tell me, oh, my insurance won't cover it. This and that. I still can't get my other medication, headache medication that I used to take every month. It was covered. And then when you hear that loud dropping again, that's what they do. And then when COVID hit, they stopped delivering it. And when they started delivering it, um, they wanted to charge me $1,000. Okay. Then I had the neurologist prescribe me from a different pharmacy, and they wanted to charge me like almost $500. I was on this medication for a whole year, right? And it helped it because once a month, because of the headaches I was receiving, I was getting. So they do everything to cause more damage to you. Okay? Let me tell you something. I remember when it was just a few years ago, maybe actually many years ago. I was working out with my legs on the leg press machine. So this dude came in, pretty built dude, and they were targeting me, so I wasn't really thinking too much. And I was on the leg press machine, and he was like, "Oh, put your foot here, put your foot there," and I should have known better. But when you're tired of the targeting, they can try to influence you in some way. So I ended up putting my foot in the position. Next thing you know, right? After I got off the machine, right, I went home. That night, my knees, right, when I woke up in the morning, my knees was killing me. Okay, and I've used that machine, when I was younger, right? And the leg press machine is one of the safest machines you can work on, right? So if you have a back injury, the incline leg press machine is actually one of the best machines that you can work on for your legs and your quad. Just remember that when you work on these, when you sit down on that machine, because it's incline, is to try to use the lower setting on the back rest, so you can that way your spine is not kind of like in a V shape, but it's more in a like when you do a check mark like that, right? So that way, and then don't lift heavy. Okay, and don't be very careful when you're taking advice from people. Try to give you your advice. But a lot of times they're giving you the wrong advice. Okay, so like I said, like they've done a lot of stuff, man, a lot of shit. And they do it particularly when they start targeting you a lot, right? Because they know how it affects your mind, right? And again, so also read, get this book called Dark Psychology. Okay, let me open up my Kindle reader. Oh no, sorry, not Kindle, Audible. uh, let's see here. Okay, Audible. I don't even have this on my computer. Okay. Okay. What? Yeah, I'm trying to log into my Audible account. Okay, you know what? Because I can't even log into it, but I have it on my tablet. Where's my tablet? Um, get the name of it for you guys. Okay. Okay. The book is called. Um, it's a lot. It's called Dark Psychology for a Better Life. Right. Albert Stock, as in Tony Stark. Right. Um, but it goes through. It has a lot of chapters in it. This is the audible audiobook version, right? And again, it talks about how techniques of influence, how people can speak to you, uh, those who know how to manipulate the mind, or they can have a conversation with you, what is called conversational hypnosis, right? And they can implant ideas, fears, thought, negative thought patterns in your mind just by having a conversation with you, right? Just by having a conversation with you, okay? And you know, it talks about dark seduction, okay, and how they can manipulate women, men, to uh, seduce them, right? And deception, right? Manipulation of your of through body language, right? Manipulation of the mind through NLP, neuro linguistic programming. Okay, um, and it goes on, and it breaks down what NLP. It has an NLP chapter. It has uh, uh, the techniques used in NLP. How is NLP used to manipulate people? How to, and it tells you how to use body language in public speaking, which I don't really pay attention to. I just pay attention to for my defenses, right? So for my defense mechanisms, right, that I create. Um, okay. Um, nonverbals of the leg, feet, and arms. All right. How to detect when manipulation is being used against you, right? And it tells you why manipulators manipulate. Okay. It very very good. Again, it also talks about gives you talks about the essential tools uh, for analyzing behavior, right? And the importance of knowing who you are, like who you truly are. And by that, you have to know the truth, right? You have to learn how to disseminate propaganda, right? Sift through the lies, okay? Because as a TI, they'll confuse you, right? They will confuse you. And then on top of that, they will try to. Oh yes, it talks about isolation, which is very important, right? One of the most important things that when you know that somebody's being psychologically manipulated is when they start to withdraw from society, right? When they start to isolate themselves. That is a key sign. Now they may mix that up with having a mental illness, right? But I understand is that is a key sign. When a person starts to withdraw from society, that is a key sign that they're being manipulated. That something psychologically is happening to them, right? So whether it be because of the so-called mental illness, internal factor, or by external factor operating in the psychological realm, operating through psyops. Okay, uh, and as I say, operating, you get the police sirens, right? Because they don't want you to remove the chip, right? They don't want you to operate to remove the chip. They can implant it fine. You don't need an operation for that, but you need an operation to get it out. So whenever I see a commercial with a doctor, right, they'll use the police siren. Okay, that's to tell you, right? So I wish I could get it removed, all right, because I would. Okay, but none of these when you go to get these scans done, you gotta be very careful too that that they're giving you your scan and not somebody else's scan. Again, that's another way how they try to cover up and hide what is what they're doing. Okay. So again, right, very very important. Read this book, right? Dark Psychology for a Better Life. There's a couple other books that I have that I can also recommend too. Um, you know, because it is very very important that we know these things, right? Um, what's another? I talk about, oh yes, talk about the other one, Mental Manipulation by Victor Sykes. Okay. Also, The Panic Attack Solution, right, by Doc Oman, MD. Okay. What else? I got a few books here on psychological manipulation and brainwashing. Um, also read Dark Light Consciousness, right, by Edward Bruce Bynum. Dark Psychology, 6 books in one by Benedict Coleman. Okay, and then these are all audiobooks. Okay. Um, what else? Quite a few. Let's see. Oh, get the Rape of the Mind, the Rape of the Mind by um, uh, uh, Joseph Mello. Okay. Um, Poison in Chief. Right. This is a book on the CIA non-consensual human experimentation program. Right, and the doctors involved. Okay. The MK Ultra. Um, Actually, I think I have 2 books. I have two Dark Psychology book by um, Victor Sykes. Uh, let's see here. Hmm. Okay, well that's it for now. I have to download some more books that I have. Uh, so I get quite a few. I read a lot of well, used to read a lot of books, um, but I haven't been able to do so recently. So this is why I if I can get the audiobook, I get the audiobook. All right. So anyway, like I said, don't forget the channel is called the PC Security Channel. The app is called um, Wireless Network Watcher. Okay, and it can tell you if any other devices is on your network. Okay, so with that being said, I'll talk to you guys on the next video.